Hey everyone, it's Addict here, and today I'm going to be giving the Dyson 360 Vis Nav a second chance. It's been a year since my original video where I unboxed and reviewed and compared it to Roomba J7. So maybe a year of software updates, has it improved it? Let's find out. Let's get started. So to start off, let's talk about the pros of this robot vacuum cleaner and a year later, some of the improvements. So I've noticed it doesn't get stuck as much. It used to just get stuck non-stop. They've added a lift sensitivity option in the settings, so you can choose how sensitive you want it to be to being like lifted up. So if it goes over certain things, it used to just think it had been lifted and it would just stop. So you can reduce that sensitivity now so that it doesn't activate as quickly. And they've changed a lot of the speed it goes between rooms. It's much quicker. The navigation is much quicker. The mapping is quicker. Everything's improved, but is it enough to compete? It's still got a very expensive price tag of like almost $2,000 Australian dollars. So I don't know how much that is in the US, but it's a lot of money. It's worth noting that for much less money, you can get a Roomba J7, which auto empties itself. It has obstacle avoidance. It can mop as well as vacuum. So that's what I mean by this is very expensive. The competitors are cheaper and offer more features for less money. All this vacuum does is vacuum. Doesn't avoid cables, doesn't avoid dog poo. So that's not so good if you're paying so much money and you have a dog and it does a poo on the ground, and then that thing turns it into an artwork of dog poo covering your floors. I think the suction of the Dyson 360 Vis Nav is unparalleled on boost mode. It's really good, but there's a con, and that it only lasts like 7-8 minutes on boost mode and then has to charge. So I have a pretty small house and it takes sometimes 2 charges to 1 charge per room in my house. And the charge takes about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40, hour 30. Yeah, so that adds up. So it can take from like sunrise to sunset just to clean a small house on boost mode. And I think that's not so great. It's a really long time. On auto mode, it's okay, and it does boost the suction, which is another plus. It has detection on how dirty the floor is. It also shows you that on the map, which it used to do. So it will boost the suction, and it will tell you where there was dirt detected when it senses dirt. So that's pretty cool. Another pro is that it has really good filtration. My Roomba requires filter replacement all the time, and this Dyson does not. You just wash it, the filter comes out. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's the vacuum, this pops up, the filter's here, pop it out, and this can be cleaned. And what I think is incredible is that this has been used for the past month and a bit, and the filter is very clean. If you compare that to a Roomba, the Roomba filter is just full of dirt. There's no cyclonic filtration on the Roomba. So anything that gets into the bin pretty much goes into the filter as well and clogs the filter really quickly on the Roomba, and probably most other robot vacuum cleaners, unless they have cyclonic filtration. Another one of the pros is that it's really easy to empty this robot vacuum, and you feel like it actually did empty itself. So you just press this red button here, and then you go like this, and then all the dirt comes out. It cleans itself. So that's pretty cool. You can reinsert it like this, and that's all good to go. I find sometimes on the Roombas there's a few more steps, and you got to like shake the bin to get all the dust out and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool that Dyson's got a good emptying kind of scheme, or a good emptying design on their robot vacuum. I also find that the brush bar on this one doesn't get too much hair in it, which has been good. The Roomba seems to get a lot of hair, but the Roomba's pretty easy to clean the actual hair out of the brushes. The Dyson is just one brush bar and it's very wide. I just wanted to add that I buy all the products for my videos myself. So this isn't a sponsored post. It's not paid for by Dyson. This isn't a sample product. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just genuinely bought this to try it out and see what it's like. And I thought, wow, there's all these updates a year later. Let's try it out again. So this video is not a paid or sponsored post, if that makes sense. So this is an honest review. Another thing that they added through software updates is it seems like the light on the top of this robot vacuum is really smart, and it kind of sends the light in the direction that needs light the most. It's a bit hard to explain, but it's as if the really dark areas of the scene it sends more light to, and the really bright areas of the scene it dims the light. So it's kind of got like local dimming for a 360 camera for the lighting on it, which I thought was pretty cool to see, because I assume the sensor can't be adjusted like, you know, in different directions, but the lighting can. So that's pretty cool. Thought that was interesting to see that they've added that for a software update. So the hardware was there, but it was not activated a year ago. So some of the cons are that this robot vacuum cleaner is pretty noisy. Even on its quiet mode, I think it's noisier than a Roomba, especially on carpet. Some of the other cons are that this product is really expensive. One of the other cons is that this robot vacuum cleaner does not have optical avoidance. The mapping is kind of average. I've not found it to do a great job mapping. The navigation is kind of average. And it still gets stuck, just a bit less, quite a bit less actually. I've been able to do, I'd probably say out of every 10 cleaning jobs, maybe 1 or 2 of them, it will get stuck. The difference is on the Roomba, it's possible to recover the job remotely, whereas the Dyson, if it gets stuck, it always says in the app, oh, you have to go put it back on the dock. But what if you're not home? Because it's really loud, it takes 12 hours. So, you know, I often run it when I'm not at home. So when it gets stuck, I can't fix it remotely, but on the Roomba, I can just tell it to go to the dock, and it can often unstuck itself and charge, and then I can tell it to run again, and it'll kind of finish its cleaning job. So that's not something you can do with the Dyson. I think this robot vacuum would have been really competitive 5 years ago. And if you just have carpet and no obstacles, it's really good on boost mode. It's just like a normal vacuum cleaner. The amount of suction it has, a really high level of suction, it'll pick up heaps. But the downside is the bin is quite small too, and it gets still, the software didn't fix this, it still gets choked on really simple things like a small piece of paper will block its airways. The inlet for the air into the cyclone and the channels are really small, so any kind of big thing will just block this thing and it won't be able to continue. That's not something I've ever encountered with any other robot vacuum cleaner that I've owned, but I mostly own Roombas, so they're pretty good. That's not so great though for the amount of money that this costs, and yeah. It cleans well when it doesn't get stuck, and it, especially on boost mode, cleans very well. I find that the corner cleaning is still pretty average. It's little side brush that it pops out, which I'll show you here. I find that the side brush here doesn't really work, or sorry, not brush, but the vent doesn't really work very well. It definitely misses stuff, because often it just kind of goes like really far away from the wall still. They didn't fix that in software. So when it does side cleaning, I think it's much worse than the Roomba. The Roomba goes much closer to the wall, and the reach of its spinning brush is much more than this Dyson's kind of side little vent. And I found that the suction coming from that vent is pretty low anyway. So I don't think even if it was right up against the wall, it'd pick much up personally. And I've kind of seen that in my testing. So that's kind of disappointing. Another con that didn't really get fixed is that the 360 camera means that you can't really clean this vacuum on hard floors because you'll scratch the lens. I think that's kind of a design flaw. I think LiDAR or front-facing camera for obstacle avoidance doesn't have this problem. And it even scratches up the camera itself. If you have furniture that's just at the height where the camera can hit it, it pretty much rams its little head into its little camera into the top of the furniture and damages it. So I don't know, I don't think that's the best design. Long term, you might find the camera gets all scratched up and maybe it can't navigate anymore. So to sum up, if you don't care about mopping, like you mostly have carpets, and you don't care about obstacle avoidance, and you don't care too much about spending $2,000, then this product is pretty good. If you also care about good air filtration and cleaning the air really well, that's something that this does probably better than most other robot vacuum cleaners. And if you're happy if you have a big house, if you're happy for it to potentially take 12 hours or longer to clean your house, let's say you're not at home for a week or not at home for a day, and you can just run it while you're not at home and it doesn't get stuck, cross fingers, because no obstacle avoidance, and you run it in boost mode, it'll probably do the best job of your carpet of any robot vacuum cleaner. And I think then it is suitable for you and it's going to be a good product for you. But if you a bit more value conscious, you want something that can empty itself automatically, you want something that can mop as well, then probably go get a Roomba J7. I'm going to be reviewing the Roomba J7 combo soon when I get one. I've got one on order coming soon. So yeah, that will be a good comparison video maybe. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see any kind of follow-up content on this product before I get rid of it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all in the next video. Lens Addict out.